If you work at a storage facility, if you have keys to units you've never opened, there's something you need to understand. Some doors stay locked for a reason. Some units aren't storing furniture or old clothes or family heirlooms. Some are storing something else, something that can't be allowed out. My name is Derek Sullivan. I've worked at Secure Store Self-Storage in Bakersfield, California for 6 years. I thought I'd seen everything. Late-night renters hiding from divorce lawyers. Hoarders with units full of garbage. People living in their storage spaces despite the rules. But Unit D-317, that's different. I opened it 3 nights ago. I wasn't supposed to. The instructions were clear. The warnings were explicit. But I opened it anyway. And now something followed me home. I'm 31 years old. High school graduate. Been working security and maintenance at Secure Store Self-Storage since 2018. It's a massive facility. Over 800 units. Climate controlled. 24-hour access. Video surveillance. The whole professional operation. I work the night shift. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. 4 nights a week. The pay is decent. The work is easy. Mostly I just sit in the office, watch security cameras, and make rounds every 2 hours. Check the locks. Make sure no one's living in their unit. Keep the place secure. It's quiet, peaceful, boring usually, until you learn about Unit D-317. During my training, my supervisor, Frank Morrison, gave me the standard orientation. Where the breakers are. How to reset the gate system. What to do if someone gets locked in after hours. Normal stuff. Then he got to a specific page in the manual. Restricted units. Frank, flashback, serious, firm. Derek, most of these restricted units are just legal holds. Divorce disputes. Estate issues. Court orders. You don't open them until we get paperwork. Standard procedure. Frank. But this one, D-317. This is different. You don't open it. Ever. Under any circumstances. I don't care if the building is on fire. I don't care if someone claims they own it. I don't care if a cop shows up with a warrant. You do not open Unit D-317. Derek, flashback. What's in it? Frank, that's not your concern. Your concern is keeping it locked. The renter pays automatically every month. Has for 15 years. Never late. Never visits. We don't ask questions. We just keep it locked. Derek, who's the renter? Frank, pause, uncomfortable. The account is under a corporate name. Meridian Holdings, LLC. No contact information beyond a P.O. box. Payment comes from an automated account. Like I said, we don't ask questions. I should have listened. I should have just accepted the weird rule and moved on. But 6 years of working there. 6 years of walking past that unit twice a night. 6 years of wondering. It eats at you. D-317 is in the back corner of Building D, the oldest building on the property. Built in 1987, the units in Building D are larger, 10 by 20 feet, climate controlled, more expensive, usually rented by people storing valuable items, antiques, business inventory, important documents. Unit D-317 is the last unit in the last corridor. Dead end. No foot traffic. No neighboring units being accessed regularly. Isolated. The door is different from the others. Reinforced. Not the standard roll-up door. This one is solid steel. Commercial grade. The kind you'd see on a bank vault or a secure facility. Painted the same beige as the others. but clearly upgraded. And it has 3 locks. Not one padlock like the other units. 3 separate deadbolts. Heavy duty, the kind that required different keys. I asked Frank about the locks once. Year 3 of working there. Derek, flashback. Why does 317 have 3 locks? No other unit has that. Frank, deflecting. Renter's choice. They paid for the upgrade. Valuable items, I guess. Derek, do we have keys? Frank, long pause. Yes, in the main safe. Master keys. But like I said, you don't use them. Derek, what if there's an emergency? What if we smell smoke from that unit? Frank, then you call me. Immediately. And you wait for instructions. You don't open it. Frank retired 2 years ago. Heart problems. They brought in a new manager. Stephanie Chun. Late 20s. Business degree. No history with the facility. She was hired to modernize operations. Update systems. Increase efficiency. She didn't know the history. Didn't know the rules. Didn't care about Frank's warnings. 3 weeks into her tenure, she started asking questions about Unit D-317. Stephanie, flashback, frustrated. Derek, I'm looking at this account. D-317. Payment history shows 15 years of automatic charges. But no contact information. No name. No phone number. No email. Just Meridian Holdings LLC and a P.O. box that we've never sent anything to. Derek, that's how it's always been. Frank said we don't ask questions. Stephanie, well, Frank's not here anymore. And this is a liability. We need proper contact information for all renters. Insurance requirements. I'm going to track down whoever owns this LLC and update the account. Derek, warning. Frank said we shouldn't mess with that unit. Stephanie, dismissive. Frank said a lot of things. I'm the manager now. I follow regulations, not superstitions. She spent 3 weeks trying to track down Meridian Holdings LLC. Business registries. Tax records. Corporate filings. Dead end after dead end. The LLC existed. Registered in Delaware in 2008. But the registration was bare minimum. No officers listed. No business address. No activity beyond paying for Unit D-317. The P.O. box in Bakersfield had been closed for 10 years. It was a ghost company, created solely to rent that one unit. And keep it rented. Forever. Stephanie, flashback, to Derek. This doesn't make sense. Why would someone create an entire corporation just to rent a storage unit anonymously? Derek, maybe they have something to hide. Stephanie, or maybe they're doing something illegal. We could be liable. I think we need to open that unit. Document what's inside. Make sure it's not drugs or weapons or something that could get us shut down. Derek, firmly. Frank said never to open it. Stephanie, and I'm saying we have a responsibility. If there's something illegal in there, we're accessories. I'm opening it tomorrow. I want you there as a witness. That was 3 days ago. Stephanie scheduled the opening for after hours. Didn't want customers around. Didn't want questions. Just her, me, and the 3 master keys. We walked to Building D in silence. My stomach was in knots. Every instinct told me this was wrong. Frank's warnings echoed in my head. You don't open it. Ever. Under any circumstances. But Stephanie was my boss. And part of me wanted to know. All right, let's see what 15 years of secrecy is hiding. She unlocked the first deadbolt. It slid open smoothly, well maintained despite being locked for years. Second lock. Same thing. Smooth. Easy. Like it had been opened recently. But the logs showed no one had accessed this unit in 15 years. Derek. Stephanie. Are you sure about this? Stephanie. It's just a storage unit. Derek. We're not robbing a tomb. Third lock opened. All 3 deadbolts were disengaged. The door could now be opened. Stephanie. Help me with this. Steel door is heavy. We pulled. The door was heavy. Reinforced. But it moved smoothly. Someone had maintained these mechanisms. Recently, the door rolled up 3 feet. Then 4. Then 5. Then fully open. We shined our flashlights inside. The unit was empty. Completely empty. No boxes. No furniture. No shelves. Nothing. Just bare concrete floor and walls. Stephanie, this is it. 15 years of mystery for an empty unit? Derek, relieved. Maybe whoever rented it died. Forgot about it. And the payments just kept going automatically. Stephanie, $10,000 a year to store nothing? That doesn't make sense. Visual, Stephanie walking deeper into the unit. Derek staying near the entrance. Flashlight beam scanning. She walked deeper into the unit. I stayed near the door. Something felt wrong. The air was cold. Too cold. The unit was climate controlled, but this was freezing. Derek. Stephanie, come on. We've seen it. Let's lock it back up. Stephanie, distracted, examining walls. Wait. Look at this. She was at the back wall, running her hand along the concrete. There was a seam. A vertical line running from floor to ceiling. Like a door. Disguised to look like wall. Stephanie, there's another door. A hidden door. Derek, backing toward exit. Stephanie, we should go. Now. Stephanie, don't you want to know what they're really hiding? She pushed. The door didn't move. Locked. Or blocked. From the other side. She knocked. Hollow sound. There was definitely a space behind this wall. A hidden room. Inside the unit. And then we heard it. Someone knocked back. 3 knocks. From the other side. Deliberate. Responding to Stephanie's knock. Derek whispered, "We need to leave. Right now?" Stephanie, backing away, scared. There's someone in there. Behind that wall. Someone's trapped. Derek. Or something's locked in there on purpose. The knocking became frantic. Pounding. Like fists hammering on the door from the inside. Desperate. Violent. We ran. Stephanie dropped her flashlight. I pulled her out of the unit. We both grabbed the door and slammed it down. The door slammed shut. The pounding stopped. Immediately. Complete silence. Stephanie, shaking. What the fuck was that? Derek. I don't know. But we need to lock it. Now. I tried to lock the deadbolts. First lock engaged. Second lock engaged. Third lock. The key wouldn't turn. Derek, frustrated, scared. The third lock won't engage. Something's wrong with it. Stephanie, leave it. 2 locks is enough. We'll deal with it tomorrow. Derek, 2 locks wasn't the rule. There were 3 for a reason. Something was blocking the lock from the inside. Like someone had jammed it. Recently. In the last few minutes. From inside the unit, we heard scraping. Slow. Metal on concrete. Like something heavy being dragged. Stephanie whispered, "We're calling the police." Derek. And telling them what? That we heard knocking in an empty storage unit? They'll think we're crazy. Stephanie. There's someone in there. Trapped. We have to help them. Derek. Or someone's been keeping something locked in there. For 15 years. And we just let it know we're here. We went back to the office. Stephanie wanted to call the police. I convinced her to wait until morning. Talk to the corporate office. Get legal advice. Do this properly. She reluctantly agreed. Stephanie left at midnight. I stayed. My shift wasn't over until 6 a.m. I watched the security camera feed for Building D. Camera angle covered the corridor leading to D317. I could see the door. Closed. Still. Nothing moving. At 2:43 a.m., the camera feed glitched. Just for 2 seconds. Image distorted. Static. Then cleared. When it cleared, the door was open. 3 inches. Just slightly ajar. I stared at the monitor. The door was definitely open. But I hadn't seen it open. Just the glitch. Then it was open. I grabbed my flashlight and radio. Went to Building D. I had to close that door. Had to secure it. The facility was silent. My footsteps echoed. Every sound amplified. I reached Building D. Walked down the corridor toward D317. The door was open. Not just a crack. Halfway up. Wide open. Like someone had rolled it all the way. I approached slowly. Shined my light inside. Empty. Same as before. Bare concrete. Nothing. But I hadn't opened it. Stephanie hadn't come back. The security footage would have shown anyone approaching. No one had opened this door. Unless someone was already inside when we closed it. I heard breathing. Deep inside the unit. Slow. Ragged. Wet. Like someone with fluid in their lungs. I aimed my light toward the sound. Nothing. Empty space. But the breathing continued. Derek, calling out, voice shaking. Hello? Is someone there? This is private property. You need to come out. The breathing stopped. Silence. Then footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Bare feet on concrete. Walking toward me. I could hear the footsteps getting closer. But I couldn't see anyone. My light showed empty space. But something was walking toward me. I backed away. The footsteps matched my pace. Getting closer. 10 feet. 8 feet. 6 feet. My light caught something. A shadow. Human-shaped. But wrong. Too tall. The limbs were too long. The head tilted at an angle that should have broken a neck. Voice, whispered, layered wrong. You opened it. I ran. Dropped my flashlight. Sprinted down that corridor faster than I've ever moved. Behind me, footsteps. Fast. Impossibly fast. Bare feet slapping concrete. I reached the exit of Building D. Burst through the door into the parking lot. Kept running to my car. I looked back. Building D door was open. I could see down the corridor. Nothing. No one following. But my flashlight, still inside the unit, was moving. Rolling across the floor on its own. Back and forth. Like someone was playing with it. I got in my car. Locked the doors. Watched the building. At 3:15 a.m., the door to Unit D317 slowly rolled closed. On its own. Smooth. Controlled. Like someone inside had pulled it down. I watched the security feed from my phone. The door closed completely. Then nothing. Still. Silent. I called Stephanie. No answer. Left a voicemail. Stephanie, it's Derek. Don't come to the facility. Something's wrong with Unit 317. Call me. I waited in my car until sunrise. When the day shift arrived, I went home. Didn't tell them what happened. What would I say? I got home at 6:47 a.m. I live alone. Small apartment. 1 bedroom. Nothing fancy. I locked the door. Checked all the windows. Set my alarm. Crashed into bed. I slept until 2 p.m. Woke up to 17 missed calls. 12 from Stephanie. 5 from the facility's corporate office. I called Stephanie back. Stephanie, panicked, crying. Derek, where have you been? Something happened. Unit 317. The door was found wide open this morning. Day shift found it. Nothing inside. But, Derek. But what? Stephanie, barely holding it together. There are footprints. Wet footprints. Leading out of the unit. Down the corridor. Out of Building D. Across the parking lot. They stop at the street. Derek. Footprints from what? Stephanie, crying. They're not human. Derek. The feet are wrong. Too long. Too many toes. The lab is analyzing them, but they're not human. She texted me photos. Wet footprints. Clearly visible. Barefoot. But the shape was wrong. Too narrow. Too long. 7 toes on each foot. Not human. The prints measured 16 inches long. 4 inches wide. 7 toe marks on each foot. Stride length. 6 feet between prints. Whatever made these prints was tall. Very tall. The trail led out of Building D. Across the parking lot. To the street. Then they stopped. Just ended. Like whatever made them had stepped onto the street and vanished. Or gotten into a vehicle. Or disappeared. Derek, to Stephanie. Where do the footprints lead? What direction on the street? Stephanie. East. They stopped facing east. Why? Derek, horror dawning. What's east of the facility? Stephanie, checking map. Residential area. Neighborhoods. Why, Derek? What does that mean? I live east of the facility. 6 miles east. Residential neighborhood. Quiet street. Normal houses. I check my apartment. Every room. Every closet. Under the bed. Behind furniture. Nothing. Empty. Normal. I went to the bathroom. Saw something on the tile floor. Wet mark. Faint. Almost invisible. But there. A footprint. Wet. Drying. The shape. Too long. Too narrow. 7 toe marks. It was in my apartment. From my bedroom, I heard my closet door creak open. Slow. Deliberate. I grabbed a knife from the kitchen. Walked slowly to my bedroom. The closet door was open. 6 inches. Darkness inside. I put my hand on the door. Prepared to throw it open. Face whatever was inside. My phone rang. I jumped like I'd been shocked. Looked at the screen. Stephanie. Calling again. I answered. Stephanie, screaming. Derek, get out of your apartment. Get out now. Derek. What? Why? Stephanie. The corporate office found the original rental agreement for Unit 317. It was buried in archived files. Scanned and uploaded years ago. The original renter. Derek, the unit was rented by someone named Meridian. Dr. James Meridian. Derek. So, who is that? Stephanie, crying, terrified. I Googled him. Dr. James Meridian. Geneticist. Worked at a private research facility in the 1990s. He was experimenting with human genetic modification. Trying to create, I don't know, enhanced humans. The project was shut down. The government raided his lab. Found subjects. Test subjects. Living subjects. Genetically altered. Derek, horrified. What happened to them? Stephanie, barely coherent. They were supposed to be euthanized. Humanely. But Meridian disappeared before the raid. Took his research. And his last test subject. A girl. Subject 317. He named her that. Subject 317. She was 7 years old when he started experimenting on her. That was 2008. She'd be 23 now. Derek. Are you saying he's been keeping her in that storage unit? Stephanie. The hidden room. Behind that wall. He kept her there. Locked in. Alive. For 15 years. Fed through some system. Hidden. And we let her out. I looked at my closet. The breathing from inside grew louder. Deliberate. Letting me know she was there. Derek whispered into phone. She's in my apartment. She's in my closet right now. Stephanie, get out. Derek, run. Get out now. I'm calling the police. I backed toward the bedroom door. Slowly. Eyes on the closet. The door opened wider. 7 inches. 8 inches. I saw eyes. In the darkness. Reflecting the light from my bedroom window. Too high up. She was tall. Very tall. The eyes were wrong. Too large. Pupils wrong shape. Voice. Rasping. Broken. You. Let me out. Derek. Backing through doorway. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We didn't know. Voice. Free. Finally free. The closet door opened fully. She stepped forward. Into the light from my window. She was human. Mostly. But wrong. Altered. Skin pale gray. Hairless. 7 feet tall. Limbs elongated, stretched. Fingers twice normal length. Face recognizably human, but distorted. Eyes too large. Mouth too wide. When she opened it, too many teeth. Small. Sharp. And she was thin. Emaciated. Starving. 15 years in a locked room. Whatever Meridian had been feeding her, it wasn't enough. She looked at me. Head tilted. Studying. Like she'd never seen a person up close. Like I was as strange to her as she was to me. Subject 317. Struggling to form words. Man. Help. Me. Hungry, so hungry. I was frozen. She was a victim. A prisoner for 15 years. A girl who'd been experimented on. Tortured. Locked away. But she was also 7 feet of genetically modified predator. Starving. Looking at me. I heard sirens. Distant. Coming closer. Stephanie had called them. Subject 317 heard them too. Her head snapped toward the window. Toward the sound. Her mouth opened wider. A sound came out. Not human. High-pitched. Clicking. Echolocation. She was echolocating. Meridian had modified her. Given her abilities. Bat DNA. Maybe dolphin. I don't know. But she was mapping her surroundings by sound. She looked back at me. Made a decision. Subject 317. I remember you. Facility. You worked there. You kind. Never hurt me. Derek. You could see us? At the storage facility? Subject 317, nodding. Hidden camera. Small. Meridian installed. I watched. Everyone. Years. You. Different. Not cruel. She moved to the window. Looked out. Sirens were close. Maybe 1 block away. Subject 317. They come. For me. Always come. Lock. Me again. No. Never. Again. Subject 317. Thank you for freedom. Short, but mine. She opened the window. I'm on the 3rd floor. She climbed out onto the ledge. Impossible balance. Genetically enhanced. Modified for this. Subject 317. Tell them. Sorry. For scaring. Just wanted out. She jumped. 3 stories. Landed in the alley below. Impossible. But she made it. Enhanced bones. Enhanced muscles. Meridian had made her superhuman. In some ways. She looked up at me one last time, then ran, faster than any human, gone into the shadows. Police arrived 30 seconds later, rushed into my apartment, guns drawn, searching, found nothing. I told them everything. The storage unit. Subject 317. Dr. Meridian. The hidden room. Stephanie corroborated. Corporate office provided the files. They searched the facility, found the hidden room behind the false wall in Unit D 317. 8 feet by 8 feet. Concrete. Reinforced. A prison. There was a toilet, a sink, a thin mattress, feeding tube installed in the wall. Automated. Meridian had set up a system. Food delivered through tubes. Water. Everything she needed to survive. But nothing else. No light. No books. No human contact. Just darkness and feeding tubes. For 15 years. The walls were covered in scratches. Tallies. She'd counted the days. 5,475 marks. 15 years of marks. Scratched with her fingers. Genetically enhanced fingers that could cut concrete. And words. Scratched into the concrete. Please let me out. I'm sorry. I'll be good. Please. Over and over. Thousands of times. Begging to be freed. Dr. James Meridian was found 3 days later. Dead. In a motel room in Nevada. Apparent suicide. Left a note confessing to everything. The experiments. Subject 317. Keeping her locked in that room. His note said he'd kept her alive because he couldn't bring himself to kill her. His greatest creation. His greatest failure. He'd created something new. Something beyond human. But he'd also created a prisoner. A girl who'd never known freedom. He'd planned to keep her locked up until he died. Then the payments would stop. The unit would be auctioned. Someone would find her, free her, or kill her. Either way, it would end. But we'd opened the door early. 13 years early. His automated payments were set to continue until 2037. Subject 317 hasn't been found. FBI is searching. So is Homeland Security. Genetic modification of humans is illegal. She's evidence. They want her captured, studied, probably locked up again. There have been sightings. Maybe. Unconfirmed. Someone matching her description spotted near the California-Oregon border. Then in Washington state. Moving north. Staying in shadows. Avoiding people. I think about her every day. Did I do the right thing? Opening that door freed her. But it also released something genetically modified. Unknown capabilities. Unknown dangers. But she was a prisoner. A victim. A girl who'd spent 15 years in darkness because of one man's arrogance. She deserved freedom. Even if that freedom is terrifying. The storage facility closed Unit D 317 permanently. Welded the door shut. Posted signs. It's evidence in an ongoing federal investigation. But sometimes, late at night, security cameras catch movement in that corridor. Shadows that shouldn't be there. Sounds of scratching from inside the welded unit. Like something still there. Still watching. Still waiting. Or maybe it's just my imagination. Guilt. Trauma. The mind playing tricks. I don't work at the storage facility anymore. I quit the next day. Couldn't go back. Couldn't walk those corridors knowing what had been hidden there. I moved apartments too. Couldn't stay in a place she'd been. Where she'd stood in my closet. Watching me. But sometimes, late at night, I hear scratching. Faint. In the walls. Like something's trying to communicate. And I wonder if she's checking on me. Watching. Grateful. or if I'm losing my mind. Last week, I thought I saw her on a rooftop across the street. Tall, thin, watching my window. But when I looked again, nothing. Just darkness. Maybe she's protecting me. Maybe she's grateful. Maybe she sees me as the one person who set her free. Or maybe I'm just imagining it all. Maybe she's 1,000 miles away, living in forests, hiding in mountains, finally free. If you work at a storage facility and there's a unit you're told never to open, maybe there's a reason. Maybe some doors are locked to protect us. Or maybe they're locked to protect what's inside from us. Subject 317, whispered, close. Thank you, friend.